Alrighty. So today, about arm strength, doing the same poses that we're always used to doing, but placing that next layer of awareness, right? For the past couple of weeks, we've been working on breathing, keeping our core engaged in the inhalation, right? Finding space to put that air elsewhere, continuing to do that. And we noticed that we're able to get more strength. It's like, oh, magically you get more strength just from doing that with your breath. And that's really because you're keeping your core engaged during your inhale, right? 50% of the time that we're working, if we don't think about it, in our inhale, our belly is just going to expand and boom, you just lost the engagement of your core. So you gain like 50% more strength on your core just by thinking about how you breathe. So today we're going to work on arm strength, pushing and pulling. All right. Oh, okie dokie. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. We have a full house today, which is awesome. I love it. It's so good to see everybody. Okay. All right. So let us start out. Let us start out. I'm trying to wall. Is everyone near a wall? I think everyone's near a wall. Everyone has a wall, right? The wall is like, it comes with the house. It's a free gym equipment. All right, so let's go ahead and start out like down dog on the wall. We're gonna do a little chest opening as well. You know, some stretching of the chest, and then we can also do some strengthening as well. So if you from your hip, if you hinge forward at your hip, and then place your arms by your ears, and you're pressing into the wall, and you just drop your chest down. And just take a few breaths here. And if you don't have a wall, you can do this on your couch or on your table, right? You can be kneeling on the couch or kneeling, or not on the couch, but kneeling on the floor, and then just you're basically trying to find a place where you can drop your chest down, where your ears are past your arms. And then Anjali, if this bothers your neck, you know, you can just come into child's pose or put your hands onto a block and do child's pose, but the block, the elevation of the hands on the block will just allow you to just kind of open up through the chest. So if you can, for every inhalation, exhalation, your chest can drop, you know, further down. Restrain the arms if your arms have become bent or micro bent. You just kind of neutralize through the neck, neutralize through the spine. Just kind of allow gravity to help you open up through your shoulders. So really we're stretching the pec muscle, the pec major, the pec minor, because these are the muscles that get overused and they're over tight. And we're going to work on strengthening the tiny little guys, the deltoids and the serratus. And inhale and come back up. And sometimes that usually takes like 15 breaths to really open up. So roll your shoulders back and down and chest open. Separate your feet a little wider than hips width distance apart. And try to find in between your inner thighs. Roll the shoulders back and down. So keep broadening through the chest. And keep sending your pelvis forward, your belly button forward, and your sternum up towards the sky. And then pull through the inner thighs. And keep lifting. So we don't want to compress our low back. We want a posterior pelvic tuck, posterior pelvic tilt as we go back. You want to keep your chin tucked. The more you keep your chin tucked, the more you can go further back. Inhale slowly, come on up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, slowly come to forward fold, bend the knees. Wrap the arms around. Behind your knees, clasping opposite elbows. Squeeze the knees and the ankles together. Inhale. Exhale, lift the tailbone up towards the sky. So lower the rib cage down onto the thighs. Keep the rib cage glued to the thighs. Exhale, lift the tailbone as far as you can go. We're going to start to open up the low back. Reach the the collarbones towards the floor, towards the mat. Inhale, bend the knees, soften, round into a ball. So posterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, straighten the knees, lift the tailbone up towards the sky, anterior pelvic tilt. Keeping that rib cage glued onto the thighs. Inhale, bend the knees, tuck, posterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, lift the tailbone up towards the sky, anterior pelvic tilt. And release, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, exhale, plant the hands, step it back into high plank, drop the knees down. Circle out or barrel roll, so drop the chest down and then dome into a cat. So this is a different way of doing cat-cow, barrel rolling through your rib cage. In your barrel roll, can you continue to engage your core, whether you're inhaling and you're exhaling? Inhaling, exhaling. And the harder one is going to be inhale, switching directions. And release. If you have a block, come and bring your block down, and we'll do So place your hands down onto the block or elevate your hands in some way, and then come to child's pose. And this elevation allows you to press your hands down onto the block and drop your chest down a little bit more. You might need 2 blocks, or you can use the couch. Right, as long as you're getting past your ears are getting past your arms, and definitely doesn't get the same amount of stretch as if we're at the wall. So maybe you come down to your bed or to your couch. I think I like the wall the best, but like I can definitely feel. Let's see if I do kneeling. Well, there we go. If you do kneeling and drop your chest down, I can definitely feel more of the stretch, right? Because there's more space. There's more space for your ears to go past your arms. Right, we're trying to open up these muscles and get our other smaller muscles a chance to play. All right. And coming into all fours. Coming into all fours. Now we're going to get used to the action of pushing. Of pushing forward. So let's see. So when we're on all fours, we want to be pushing our arms up, right? So this action, pushing our arms up. So if you're in all fours, roll the shoulders back and down, engaging through your arms are straight, and you want to engaging through the core, and you want to push your arms forward towards where your fingertips are facing. You're going to feel like all of these muscles around your shoulders light up, including your core. So just breathe here and push forward like you're trying to rip the carpet apart for 3, 2, and 1. Now we want to do the opposite. We want to feel like we're pulling back behind us, that we're engaging through our serratus, that we're squeezing the orange underneath our arms. So in all fours, we want to feel like we're pulling, like we're trying to pull the carpet together. Like you're trying to pull the carpet towards your knee for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you want to, last week we worked on keeping our shoulders away from our ears and continuing to engage in between the shoulder blades and pulling it down our back. Right, so let's repeat that again. We're going to push. We're going to push forward for 4, 3, pull the belly in, straight arms, 2, and 1, and release. You should feel that in your shoulders. And now we're going to pull. We're going to pull. You're not going to go over anywhere, but we're really going to pull and activate through the serratus and feel all the muscles that are engaging. Straight arms for 4. Pull the belly button in. 3, 2, and 1. And release. It didn't go anywhere, but we were definitely working hard. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and come into, we're going to incorporate that into our sun salutations and all of our poses where we're on our hands. So go ahead and come forward to supported plank. Tuck the tailbone, roll the shoulders back and down, lower down, knees, chest, chin, inhaling. Cobra, roll the shoulders back and down. So here, our hands are on the ground and our hands are pulling back behind us. So can we activate that? The hands are pulling back, tuck the toes, our hands will be pushing forward as we lift into down dog. Our hands are pushing forward, pushing forward, in our down dog. In our down dog, our hands are pushing forward. Pushing forward. Can you get deeper in your down dog? Active upper back, active shoulder blade muscles, which is your low trapezius. And you're pushing. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing away forward, runner's lunge. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, open through the chest. Pull the elbows in towards your ribs. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the hand down. Tuck the back knee under. Runner's lunge, rock forward and back. And then step the back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Take the necklace off. Exhale, plant the hands down, step the right foot back. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, open. Inhale, up. Exhale, plant the hands down, come into all fours. We're in all fours, so we are, I don't know what we're pushing forward. That's right, we're pushing forward. Come into support, what is this? Not plank, supported plank, and we're pushing, right? We're still actively pushing forward. We're still actively pushing forward as we come down. Inhale, cobra, pull back. Hands are pulling back. Hands are pulling back. Exhale, tuck the toes. We're lifting into down dog. We're pushing. We're pushing forward. We're pushing forward with the deltoid muscles. We're engaging through our low belly. We're keeping it engaged as we inhale. We're pushing forward. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. When we come forward, I think we're still pushing. Yeah. Runner's lunge. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down, pop the back knee off the mat, rock forward, rock back, back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, all the way back up, and close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, step the left foot back, drop the back knee down. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, open. So here we're still in a posterior pelvic tilt. We're tucking our tailbone and we're opening. Notice how if you tuck your tailbone, you can open the back bend further. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down. We're going to come into high plank. High plank, we're pushing forward. High plank, we're pushing forward. As we lower down to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, we are pushing forward. We are pushing forward in chaturanga. We are pushing forward in chaturanga. Inhaling up dog, we're pulling back. We're pulling back. We're pulling back with our hands. Notice how much further you can go forward because we're pulling back. Tuck the toes. Down dog, we're pushing forward. We're pushing forward into our down dog. To get deeper into our down dog, inhaling. Which foot are we on? Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward. Still pushing. Still pushing. Drop the back knee down. Inhaling up. Exhale, open. Tuck the tailbone under. Posterior pelvic tilt. Go deeper. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Back knee off the mat. Left hand down. Oh, left hand down means we are pulling. We are pulling with our left hand. We are pulling towards our left toes. So your serratus on. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Drop the back knee down. You're pulling. You continue to pull in your supported side plank or your full side plank. You're continuing to pull. The left heel to the left foot. Slowly windmill the hands down. You're in high plank. You're pushing. You're pushing lower down to chaturanga. You're pushing all the way into your up dog, which is pulling. Tuck the toes. Lift to down dog, pushing. Hands are pushing, pushing, pushing. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. You're still pushing. You're still pushing with both hands. Trying to rip your mat apart. Left foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. This way you're still pushing. Drop your back knee down. We're going to do supported side plank, full side plank. This transitions to your right arm pulling. Drop the knee down, pull. Send the left leg back, supported side plank, still pulling. Still pulling. Full side plank if you would like, still pulling. Your serratus and your oblique should be saying good morning. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that cinnamon this morning. Congratulations, Uday, on your funding for your company. Yay, Uday. Lower the left hand down. For high plank, we're pushing in high plank. We're pushing as we lower down to chaturanga. Pulling in into up dog. Who's more tired from our vinyasa today? I know I am. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, push yourself into downward facing dog. We talk about using our core more, but there are lots of other muscles that we could be using more, and that's what we're discovering today. We have these muscles that we're just probably not using to its maximum potential. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale, take the hands behind the head, press the elbows back, baby back bend, squeeze the inner thighs together, send the hips together or forward, belly button forward, open up, press the elbows back. Posterior pelvic tilt is what helps you send yourself deeper into your back bend. Inhale, slowly close the pose. Whew. We're just getting warmed up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. You're in high plank, so we're pushing forward. We're pushing forward, we're pushing forward. Now, are we pushing forward enough? I don't know. So come down onto your knees. So if you have a wall, we're gonna do wall plank. Or you can just continue to do plank on the floor. If that's your max, that's okay. So we're gonna do plank on the wall. So, or I guess it's squat to plank, but anyway. All right, so if you find yourself a wall, and so this is where that pushing is really important, because if you don't push, you fall on your face. So there's a little bit more skin in the game for everyone. So basically our feet are going to end up at shoulder height in plank. You want to measure yourself so that when you straighten out your legs, you probably want to put your hands a little bit more forward than in plank, but I'll just go ahead and demonstrate. So it's probably easier to start out in a squat because you're pushing, right? Because if you don't push, you kind of go splat. Let's see, my feet are supposed to be lower. We'll see. Well, no, we'll see. Okay, in a squat, and down dog squat, and then you come to, hold on. Oh, no, I think I don't do. Oh, my feet should be lower. Yeah. So just play around with that. But believe me, I'm pushing a whole lot more because it takes, I'm supposed to lower my feet a little lower. It's probably supposed to be about here. Here, maybe. Here, somewhere around there, perhaps. We'll start a little bit higher today. So from squat to plank. And just do one or two, or just play around with that. Because I guarantee you, your arms are going to be working more to push because you don't want to go splat. So you got to find the distance between your feet and the wall. For wall plank. And that was a good reminder. So how are you doing, Anjali? Yeah, and then come forward into a plank type thing where you're pushing. So come forward, Anjali. More forward, so the hips, so you straighten out more into a plank. Maybe you need to walk your hands more forward. Yeah, you probably need to walk your hands more forward. So basically we're trying to get to this action, right? This pushing action. But it's okay. As long as you feel like, do you feel this working? Do you feel this working? Because if this is working, then it's working, right? And then a sheesh. Over time, can you lower your feet down the wall? Maybe. It's hard. But the goal is not necessarily to be able to get up there and hold it for an infinite amount of time. The goal is just to find these muscles, right? Because they're a little bit more intense. I know I had to kick it up like 10x against the wall because I didn't want to go splat, right? No splat. All right. So now that you get a little taste of what your body can do, we can come back onto the mat and see if we can, maybe instead of a 2, we turn it up to a 5 now because we know what 10 feels like, because we know we can do that. All right, coming back into all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, and push. Push, 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 push. Notice how much deeper you can get into your down dog. Down dog is an anterior pelvic tilt. And lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Come on up into crescent lunge. Inhale, forward, up and back. Interlace the fingers behind you, roll the shoulders back and down. Ooh. So we're opening up. So we're gonna increase the strength or find strength in our deltoids today, but then also find opening in those counter muscles, which is the chest, the pec major, pec minor. So we're reaching our knuckles towards our left heel. We're bending our right knee forward. We're pressing our left heel forward. We're opening through the chest. We're drawing our shoulder blades down our back. And release, inhale. Arms up, exhale, windmill the hands down, left hand down. Left hand down, we're pulling. Our left hand is pulling. We're gonna go into side plank. So outside edge of the left foot, we're gonna come onto a side plank, full side plank or supported side plank. Activating through obliques for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down into plank push. Plank is a push. And we're going to keep pushing until we come into chaturanga. Actually, we're going to keep pushing until up dog. So come down into chaturanga, but keep pushing. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Notice how much forward you can get and hold your chaturanga. Inhaling, pull up dog. Pull up dog. Pull the belly button up and in. Posterior pelvic tilt. Posterior pelvic tilt, pull. Tuck the toes, push into your down dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up. Wait, left leg? No, hold on. Yeah, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Come on up, crescent lunge. Inhale, forward, up and back. Interlace the fingers, opposite thumb on top, so awkward grip. Roll the shoulders back and down. Crescent lunge, left knee forward, right heel forward. Posterior pelvic tilt gets you a deeper back bend. So tuck the tailbone under. It feels counterintuitive. Disperse the air and the inhalation elsewhere, not your belly. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, right hand down. Right hand down is pulling into your supported side plank or full side plank. So it's pulling, you're coming to the outside edge of the right foot. You're pulling into your side plank. Arm is pulling, 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 pulling. 3, 2, 1, plank. Plank is pushing. You're pushing your way into knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. You're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. Inhaling, up dog. pulling. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog, pushing. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Lower the knees and sit back, child's pose, and release. So your arms or your deltoids probably working a lot today. So give it a little rest. Can you bring your stillness into your breath? And release, release, release. Okay. Inhale, come back into all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, push. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. When you come forward into high plank to hit your runner's lunge, you're still pushing the whole way until your foot lands. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Ooh, inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up, exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Push. Lower down. Oh, chaturanga. Knees, chest, chin, we're pushing all the way, and then we're coming more forward. Notice how much forward you can come when you're pushing forward. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're in down dog, we're pushing, inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. So as you come forward into high plank, you're still pushing. You're still pushing, you're still pushing. Your knee is tucking into the center, lifting with your core. You're pushing until your right foot lands. Inhale, come on up. We're gonna do side angle. You might need your block for this. So your right knee is bent, your left leg is straight, your left foot is turned in. We'll start here on our, so when we put our right hand or right foot, is this, our forearm onto our knee, we want to be careful that we're not just dumping our weight in, that it's we're pushing away and it's very energized, that the right rib cage is lengthened. Our right rib cage is lengthened. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. And we're twisting into our side angle. Left arm over the ear, finding that energy and length between our left fingers to our left toes. So I'm stomping on the outside edge of my left foot and reaching all the way to my left fingertips. Maybe we place our right hand down onto a block and we really squeeze and rotate. Maybe our right hand goes down onto the floor or maybe onto the block and we push. We push that way. Yeah, we're still pushing. We're pushing. We're pushing. We're pushing. We're pushing so that the weight is into our hands so we can float our right knee into our right tricep. And we're pushing and we're pushing. We're pushing and we change that to a pulling. Pulling. That's your oblique. You're pulling your serratus. We're pulling, pulling, pulling. 3, 2, and 1. Coming up into supported warrior 2. Reverse warrior 2, stretching out our right side. So we're kind of in like a gate pose. Supported warrior, reverse warrior. And then we're going to put our right hand back down onto the mat. Now in side plank, we pull the right heel of the hand to our left toesies. We're going to push straight arm. Maybe you're a supported plank, maybe you're an awkward side plank. So pull, pull, push into the heel of the hand. That's going to activate the serratus. And we're going to put the foot back down and we're going to come into a full warrior 2. Left arm wraps behind. Right hand finds the left hand. Pull and find either the half bind or the front of the right thigh. Turn the left foot in, Reach the arm forward, glue the shoulder blades down, and reach the fingertips forward. Bend the right knee forward. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flip palm, reverse warrior. And push into that left foot. Can you get that left leg straightened? For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release, turn the toes and heels out. Inhaling. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. And just hang on here and give your shoulders a little break. We're going to use our core to squeeze into a little sandwich. So inhale. Exhale. Can you bring your rib cage closer to your thighs? We're going to compress into a little flat sandwich. Right, so you can turn your fingertips behind you and pull yourself. So you just use your core to kind of flatten yourself. Right, so if we were doing this sitting, you would try to get yourself as flat as possible, wherever that means. Right, so we want to be wary that we're not setting our hips behind us. We want to bring our torso to the legs, so if the hips keeps going backwards, it's like the dog chasing its tail. So take about 3 more deep breaths here and get flat, flat, flat. Inhale, come forward, flat back. Lay the right hand down. We'll just do some gentle twists. Inhaling to float the left arm and twist over to the left. And lower down. Exhale, twist deeper. So maybe you come more forward and you twist deeper. And you lower down. Maybe you walk the hands over to the left ankle. Bend the right knee. Exhale, straighten. Bend the right knee. Exhale, straighten. Come back into forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll it up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's see what we got here. Bend the right knee. We're going to come back into that side angle and see if we can get deeper into that twist. Now remember, we're lifting through this rib cage, lengthening and twisting. Bring the left hand down. We're pulling into our side plank. We're pulling into our side plank. Press into the heel of the left hand and really engage through the serratus. Pull and press, pull and press. Lower the right hand down into plank, push. Push yourself into chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog pull. Press into the heel of the hand. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, push into down dog. You lower the knees down and send it back to child's pose. If you wish, you can elevate your hands onto a block and drop the chest down. The other one that's really good, a little bit more intense, is to actually put your elbows onto the block and then drop your chest down. So your elbows are elevated onto the block. You might need like actually 2 blocks, because if your shoulders are a little wider than the block, it might be easier depending on how tight your shoulders are. I definitely get more intensity out of this stretch if it's like elevated on the couch or on the wall. Right, so this is actually the same stretch that we get like using the yoga wheel, which I'm a big fan of. Inhale, slowly come on up. Oh. Whew, and barrel roll it out. So we're getting like a lot of mobility in the front part of our chest. And we're getting some shoulder activation or deltoid activation that typically we don't spend a lot of time in awareness on. That's going to really help us in our shoulder stability. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog in pushing action. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. We're coming into a side angle, drop the back heel down, have a block next to you. I'm going to flip around so that I can see you. And so now we have this lift and twist. We're going to put our left hand down onto the floor or onto a block. We're going to press the heel of the hand in and we're going to push so that we can twist deeper. I'm using the back of my left forearm against my left knee to twist deeper. But I'm pushing into the heel of the left hand. I'm pushing so much into the heel of the hand that the weight lifts, and I can do awkward side plank with the left knee into the tricep. I'm pulling, so it changes the dynamic, and I'm pulling. I'm gonna do this on the mat. Yeah, so my left heel of the hand is pushing into, it's pressing into the ground, and I'm pulling it. And that's gonna fire up your oblique. Yes, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right hand down. I think we did we switch to this side? I can't remember what we did afterwards. I feel like we did this side plank pulling and a full side plank. That's where I feel like we went. Oh, I know what we did. And then we came into, drop the knee down into a supported warrior 2. That's right. It was more like a gate pose. Yeah. Oh, so we're stretching our left obliques, the ones that we just worked. Oh, so you notice like today we're not working on our like long spine muscles, right? We're spending a lot of time on our shoulders. I can't go very far today on my side bends because we haven't spent like an hour and a half working on it. So it's interesting when people define flexibility. It's like, oh, can you touch your toes? Or like, can you do X pose? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't warmed up for it. So how do we get back to, oh yes, so we're going to press down. We're going to float our left knee, and then we're going to find ourselves magically in warrior 2 again, or warrior 2. We're going to place our foot down. We're going to come on up, left knee bent, right leg straight, right foot turned in. Right hand finds the behind the back. Left hand clasped, finds the left thigh. We're in warrior 2. Left arm reaches forward, bend the left knee, turn the right toes in. Pull the belly in. Roll the shoulders back and down. Sink deeper, sink deeper. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior. Ooh, that's a nice stretch into the psoas on the right side. Ooh. You keep going deeper, send the left knee forward. Keep going deeper. Straighten out both legs, turn the toes in, heels out. Inhale. Exhale, wrap or interlace the hands behind you, roll your shoulders back and down. Woo. Reach the knuckles towards the floor behind you. Posterior pelvic tilt. How she tuck the chin down? You're going to get a deeper back bend if you tuck the chin down. Squeeze the inner thighs, posterior pelvic tilt. Slowly neutralize through the spine. Slowly neutralize through the spine. Keep your fingers interlaced. Roll the shoulders back and down. Forward fold, reaching the knuckles up towards the sky. We're compressing into a little plane or a sandwich. I don't know what kind of sandwich you want to be today. Maybe you want to be a BLT sandwich. Maybe you want to be a prosciutto and mozzarella sandwich. But find your sandwich, find your inner sandwich. And release, release, release. And just forward fold. And like take the arms out of it. We're just working on our core and flattening into a sandwich. Point the fingertips behind you and pull yourself into a little a deeper flattened sandwich. So imagine if we were sitting on the ground and we were doing a seated seated forward fold with your legs wide, side angle wide, and trying to compress into a sandwich. So this is all about your core. And release. Left hand down. We're going to take the twist over to the right, shift the weight forward, the crown of the head reaches forward, lengthen through the spine, and then lower down. And we're going to twist again. Remember, twists come from the belly, so not the neck. Start from the belly, then mid back, then upper back, and then last thing, not even the last thing, is your neck. I usually keep the gaze down. Walk your hands over to the right ankle. Maybe you this gets you a little bit of the side body. Bend the left knee. Exhale, straighten to twist deeper. Bend the left knee. Exhale, straighten to twist deeper. Come back to center. Slowly rolling up, micro bend the knees. Come all the way back up. Here we go, side angle. Okay, back into side angle. With an appreciation of this lift and twist. Did you know there are movies in the park right now at Stanford? It is totally, I think they don't do a very good job advertising. But on Friday nights, they're doing at Frost Amphitheater, movies in the park. It's really nicely done. There's like reserved seating and everything's spread apart. I think it's like $15 a ticket. And they sell them in groups of 1, 2, 4, and 6. So last night, I took Kiki to see The Incredibles. I mean, it's at 8 o'clock at night, so it's a little late. Obviously the sun has to be down, but it was super fun. And I think the advertising is extremely poor because in 2 weeks they're doing Frozen 2 and there were like plenty of seats. So just FYI for those in the Bay Area who have little ones. Where did we go from here? How do we get down? I don't remember. Oh, windmill the hands down, step it back, high plank. In high plank, we're pushing. In high plank, we're pushing forward into chaturanga. Inhale, pull into up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. We're pushing into our down dog. We're pushing into our down dog. We're pushing deeper into our down dog. Can you get deeper? Look, I don't know about you, but I can drop my chest. My pecs are more open. My deltoids are more active. I'm able to, can you get deeper into your down dog? And then lower the knees down, grab your block, or you can use the couch, right? And you can just drop your chest through. So something where it elevates your elbows so that you can drop your chest and your ears past your arms and get like this opening. And then wherever you are in your opening, maybe you just move the block out of the way and you just come into child's pose. And you just kind of release all the squeezing, all the pushing and the pulling. Give yourself some recovery time. Inhale, come into all fours. Come into all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing away, forward runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And then close the pose. And if you need to get water, you can get water. All right. We come back to our trusty wall here. We did a lot of pushing, we did a pulling, engaging the serratus and the obliques. We'll do a little bit more of that. But there's also two more dimensions, right? There's also two more dimensions, right? We push, we pull, we can push out and press in, right? We did push, a lot of pushing up and some amount of pulling down, but there's also pushing out and pushing in. So we can have our trusty wall here. So we'll do the 4 different actions. We'll do them separately and then we'll add them together. So from here, we're essentially doing down dog, right? Just on the wall, but we're going to push up. Yeah, so if you push up and you push up against the wall, wow, look, your chest just drops and your pec opens. And we're not using our pec muscles in our down dog. We are using our shoulder, girdle, up and upper back muscles. Right, we were good with the pushing. Now, if we want to pull, that engages our serratus. My arms are straight. I'm pulling. I'm trying to like rip the wall down. I'm trying to pull the trees down, my birch trees. I'm trying to pull them down. I can feel a different sensation in the muscles around my shoulder working. We're good with that. We spent the majority of today pushing and pulling. But now we're going to rip apart sideways. We're going to rip apart sideways. Does Wally want to come in? Okay, thank you.
Mom, is my giraffe in here?
Yes, your giraffe is, I think it's right there. So we're going to we're going to rip the wall apart. So we're going to come back into our wall down dog. And we're going to rip the wall apart. And notice those muscles. Now re-straighten the arms. Re-straighten the arms. And we're trying to rip the wall apart. And notice those are different muscles that we probably weren't using before. Perhaps they want to join the party. So keep ripping the wall apart and release. I don't know about you, but I feel it right here on the outside. Okay. So now we want to pull the wall together. Like we're trying to bunch up, like you have a carpet, we want to bunch it up together. We want to pull it together. So we'll come back to our wall down dog. And we want to pull the wall together, pull our hands towards each other in our down dog, in our wall dog. I'm trying to like push the hands together. Notice again, those are really different muscles. Those are entirely different muscles that we're using. So let's pull it apart. Since we did a lot of push and pull, like push forward and pull down, let's just do the side dimension. So the press apart and the push the hands together. So we're going to pull apart. I'm trying to rip the wall into 2 pieces. And I'm trying to push the wall together. Push the hands together. Come on, wall. Don't forget to re-straighten the arms. I want to pull the wall apart. Straighten the arms, and I'm going to push the walls toward my hands toward each other. And I'm going to pull apart and push together and release. I don't know about you, but my arms are tired. Who needs dumbbells? Nobody needs dumbbells. There's plenty of you can do just with your own body weight. So guess what? In our down dog, when we're in all fours, we've got some muscles that we can use that we probably haven't been using. So if we're just coming into all fours, we can repeat the same thing just in all fours. Just in all fours. We can rip the mat apart. Straight arms, rip the mat apart. Notice how your core starts to engage. This is what we should be doing in handstand. We're trying to rip them apart, and we're also trying to pull. Now straighten the arms and pull, push the hands together. Push the hands together, push the hands together. It's a little different, the pushing, because We're on all fours. We've got weight over our arms. We're pushing our hands together. Let's pull them apart. Feel those muscles that light up. Notice how your back muscle, your shoulder blade muscles might have snapped into place, and push the hands together. Push the hands together. Pull them apart. Push the hands together. And release, release, release. And shake it out. All right, so now we're going to do on all fours, we're going to do all the dimensions together. Right, so push, press apart, pull down, smush together. Push up, pull apart, pull down, smush together. We'll do it first into all fours. Right, so we're going to push forward. Ooh, my shoulders lighten up. Pull apart, different muscles. Pull the hands towards the knees and then push together. Push forward, pull apart, pull down, push together. Push forward, pull apart, pull down, push together. And then see if you can speed that up. Speed the cycle up until all of those muscles are on at the same time. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Do the same thing again. So release the muscles. We're in down dog. We're pushing forward. We're pulling apart. We're pulling, push, pull down towards the feet and push together. So push forward, pull apart, pull down, push together. Push forward, pull apart, pull down, and push together, and cycle those a little so that all those muscles are on at the same time. And release, drop the knees down and sit back child's pose. Come back into all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Activation of the complete activation of the shoulder with all four dimensions of the push, pull, push, pull. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Come on up, crescent lunge. Interlace the hands behind you, roll your shoulders back and down. We'll walk the foot out to the right, walk the right foot out to the right a little bit more to come down for humble warrior. Interlacing the hands behind you, pull the arms, roll the shoulders back and down. Shift the weight forward into, I think it's toppling tree. Keep the right foot, right knee bent. Keep floating, keep reaching the left toes behind you. Using your belly, pull the left knee in, release the grip, release the hands. Pull the left knee into the chest. Perhaps you take the left peace fingers into your left toes and straighten out your left leg and fold. And release. Keeping the left leg floating. Inhale the arms up overhead. Lift the left leg up higher. We're pulling the left thigh bone in. Bend the right knee as you keep the left leg lifted. You're in one-legged chair pose. Straighten the right leg, send the left leg back into warrior three. Drop the hands down, standing split. Lower the left knee behind the right thigh or right knee and hold round into a ball. Maybe you float the hands off the mat. Drop the left knee down behind the ankle for seated twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. And release. Whew. Come into a low lunge. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, open. Inhale, shift the hips back, straighten out through the right leg and forward fold. Now we're in an anterior pelvic tilt, collarbone reaches forward. Now, if you wish, you can either stay here or work yourself into full Hanumanasana. I like to use some slidey thing or a sock or a shirt or something that I can slide on. You know, I haven't actually been working on the flexibility, because I haven't actually been like doing splits every day and all that kind of what you expect, you know, to improve like the mobility of your splits. But I can tell you that my splits are deeper from the fact in the past like 2 years I've been working on like all the hip flexor strength. Right, so like the stronger my hip flexors have gotten and all the other stuff that I've done, you know, in my other yoga classes, the deeper the split has become, not from working from it on it at all, just from the strengthening that in the other yoga classes that I've been taking. So it's something kind of interesting, because I'm not like naturally flexible in my splits at all. I think this is probably the most flexible I have in ever in my life. So, all right, so how do we get out of this? Come into all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. I have no idea. Oh, I know, crescent lunge. I'm like, how did we get into this? All right, so when we're in our down dog, we're on all 4 dimensions of our pushing, pulling apart, pulling down, and pushing our hands together. Can you find that again? Adding the 4 dimensions into and adding them all so that you're engaged all together. Inhaling, left arm comes up toward, or left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Come on up. Crescent lunge. Roll the shoulders back and down. Awkward grip. Walk the left foot out wider. Humble warrior. So wag the tail over to the right. Shift the weight forward for crouching warrior. Keep the left knee bent. Float the right leg off the mat. Press the left toes. Keep pulling the knuckles away towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Pull the right knee into the chest. Inhale tall. So baby back bend. I'm pressing. the shin bone into the hands. Take the peace fingers into the big right toe and forward fold over the right leg. If you need a wall, you can use a wall, a chair, a table for balance. Hold the right femur bone, thigh bone into the hip socket. And release. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Click the right foot towards the sky. How high can you kick your right foot? Bend the left knee. You're in one-legged chair pose. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fly back into warrior 3. And lower the hands down to standing split. So this one is a pushing, right? Our hands are down on the ground. We're pushing forward to drive our rib cage towards our thighs. So this is a lot of pushing with our hands forward. Bend the right knee behind the left calf. Maybe you float the hands behind you. And then come down and have a seat for seated twist. Inhale tall. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall and exhale twist. And release. Come into low lunge. Inhale, forward, up and back. Exhale, pull the left hip back, straighten out the left leg for half split, half Hanuman. Reaching the collarbone forward. This is anterior pelvic tilt. Anterior pelvic tilt with your collarbone reaching forward. If you wish, you can take this into a full split. There's some kind of slidey thing on the floor. If you have carpet, you can use paper plate that also slides quite nicely. And release, release, release. Okay, so here are a couple different options for you that all involve pushing and compressing into a sandwich. A couple of different things, depending on where you are, where your body is today. Okay. All fours, work on the washing the windows. Now, all fours in the push, pull apart, pull down, push together. Actually, let's all do this. Let's all do this. You can do this. It's less intense if you're on the floor. So if you want kind of more intensity, I would recommend that you do it on the wall. So on the wall, I want to remind ourselves we've been working on all today's class, which is that push, right? Pull apart, pull down, push together. Push up, pull apart, pull down, and push together. And this is where you want to be. You can just stay right there. Right? So make sure you're cycling. Can you activate all of those muscles all at once? Straight arms. All of those muscles all at once. So just start cycling through the different directions just faster until they're all on. Now take that same action and hop up into handstand. If you want to hop up into handstand today, hop up into handstand. Don't think, just do. Your arms are straight, your core is engaged, your shoulders are so active right now. Just see how that changes your handstand. And do that cycling posterior pelvic tilt into your handstand. And do the pull apart. The more you pull apart, see if you can get some air in your handstand. If you don't want to do handstands today, the other thing that you can do, this is the new thing that I found this week. That doesn't involve being upside down, is the pushing and compressing. So do forward fold with your hands on the ground and push forward and keep smashing your chest towards your thighs. All right, so my heels on the ground. Ultimately, I actually want to move my butt up the wall and lift my heels off the ground. I'm not there yet, but that's where we're going with this. The other one was if that suits your fancy, all these work the same thing, which is that strengthening of this. The other one is L stand on the wall or pike, right? And that's because you need that pushing strength to get to this. So lots of options for wherever you want to be, but ultimately they all are on the same thing, which is your shoulder strength. Yeah. Nice, Anjali. Straighten your arms and push and get your upper back. Yeah, get your upper back involved. Push your chest closer to the wall, right? That's this action, and you can feel it, right? You can feel it. This action. There's a lot of strength that's involved in just doing L stand on the wall. You want to get that chest open, right? Dropping the chest past your ears past your arms. How's that, Uday? Yeah. If you're trying hands, oh, look at that, Ashish, you got some air. You're just like hanging out, right? Look at that. It's just like, right? Just, and then, yeah. There you go, Charlie. I think, Uday, do you need to walk your, I can't tell at this angle. Do you need to walk your hands closer to the wall? Hi, Wally, did you want to? Go on. So there's lots of different options that you can try. They all work on the same thing. How's the L stand, Ashish? Yeah, right. So with the L stand, right, so you can come from squat to help you, right? And you're pushing, you've got the pushing going on. But if my shoulders are past, if my shoulders go forward, my hips don't go forward, then I'm not going to ever be able to balance. And so I think like step one is like, okay, can we float the feet down? Like, right, not like crashing down. Can we get to just floating down, right? And then over time balancing. But anyway, that all looks, whew. But again, the goal of today is just really finding some extra love for strengthening these muscles. Because those muscles are ultimately, right, for, well, not ultimately, but like there are other reasons why you strengthen those muscles, like better posture. We spent a lot of time opening up the chest. There you go, Charlie. That's it. I don't know if you guys felt your handstand, those of you who did try handstand, if you felt your handstand, just, you get a little bit more air time, right? There's that like half second split second where it's like you're floating. I don't know, like that, kind of like that fleeting, because it looks from here, it looks more towards the effortless side than we have before, right? So I don't know how, if you felt that or not. Okay. It's hard work, right? These tiny little muscles. Okay, let's do double pigeon. We'll do some pigeony things. I know Todd isn't here to join us. He's probably working. His favorite pose is a pigeon. Okay. Left shin bone over right shin bone, tuck fingertips behind you, open up to the chest. If you have a huge gap here, you can put a pillow or a block. You can forward fold. Inhale, slowly coming up. Swing the left leg behind you into mermaid. We're going to take the twist over to the right and twist. So use the back of the left hand. Right hand is behind me, tented fingertips to help twist. This is an open twist. Opening up and lengthening through your right oblique, since we did all that pulling and pushing. And then if you take your feet out in 90 degrees and 90 degrees and walk the hands over to the right and just lay the and inhale and come on up. And then we go into pigeon. We just keep going. Inhale tall. So let's see, posterior pelvic tilt, pressing down onto the right shin bone. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. We'll do double pigeon on the other side. So the right shin bone on top. Tuck the fingertips behind you. Forward fold. Or wherever you may be in your pigeon journey. Inhale. Come into mermaid. Ooh. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale. Use the back of the right hand to twist over to the left. Tent the left fingertips. Press it down. And then continue to move the left knee over, so it's at 90 degrees. 90 degrees on underneath both knees. Keep twisting over to the left and walk the hands down. Inhale, come on up. We'll go to full pigeon. Inhale, slowly come on up. Go ahead and flip around and come onto our back. Hug our knees into our chest. Rock from side to side. Take happy baby. And release. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Float your arms down by your side, palms facing up towards the sky, closing the eyes here. And allowing your shoulders to open. You can place your hands onto your belly, allowing your belly to rise during every inhalation. And through every exhalation, can you empty out the air in your body from all of the different parts? Inhaling into the low belly. Can you squeeze out all of the air? Pushing out the air from your low belly, your ribs, your chest, your collarbone, back of the throat. Emptying out all the air. Allowing all of the hard work that you have created in your own body to sink in, to convert from short-term memory to long-term memory inside your cells. Your body remembers. Your muscle remembers all of the hard work that you've done today. That over time, your muscle cells remember the additional space that you've created, the additional strength that you have conjured up from your own body. Slowly rolling over to one side. Simply observing how your body feels at this point in time, placing no judgment on yourself. Slowly pressing yourself up to seated, rooting your sit bones into the earth, keeping your eyes closed. Activating the muscles in your upper back, opening through the chest. Can you sit up a bit taller? Inhaling, arms up overhead, clasping palms together, bowing forward, namaste.